Yorana, Yorana everyone, Maiva Manava, hi, hola, hello, bonjour, bonsoir. Hi, welcome to our live series, Reo and Ori Talk. Here is Amuina Rivera, CEO and co-founder of POLY-lingual, Reo Tahiti. Super excited to see all of you today. Hi everyone, Yorana. I'm super excited today because I have an awesome guest today. I worked so hard to have her today, and I'm super excited that she will be here with us. And so I want to thank everyone for coming and joining us. So hold on. Where are you? Okay, there you go. I just sent you an invite. So everyone, I'm welcoming today Hinatea Colombani. Yay!
Yorana!
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so
Yorana
much,
ya utup
Hinatea.
atua.
Yorana ya ue, Hinatea, marurut faririt
Maruru ya ue mwendo.
All right, everyone, help me welcome Hinatea today. Let's just like send her a like, a heart, give her, or yeah, how about that, right? Let's just say hi and welcome to Hinatea. And Hinatea, I'm so happy you're here because you know what? Actually, I'm going to tell everyone, guys, I had a hard time to have a time with Hinatea because Hinatea is super duper busy. She's a star. I have to book her to have a time with her. So to me, I'm very honored to have you here, Hinatea, and really from the bottom of my heart, I'm super happy that you joined us. And you know what? Actually, a lot of my students have asked for you to be on that live. This is why I had to push and to have you here. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Mwino. You know how much we support your family and your project too. So yeah, it's so hard because, you know, we just had a confinement, a lockdown like a few months before. And so everything was stopped. And then when the lockdown fall down, I want to say, everything came back, but like all together.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's been only yesterday I had a time in the office. So, but I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I bet, you know what? I think it's like that for everybody. It's been so quiet for 2 years. And then it's true though, for myself, it was quiet, but I was still working hard. But then when it like everything got to like normal, oh my gosh, it's like double the work.
Yeah, the work double. Really.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's
Same
crazy.
Here.
Now we need to go on vacation now.
Oh my gosh. I wish, but we cancel we're supposed to go to Huahine for the end of December with my family because, you know, my family from my father coming from Huahine. But we had to cancel because too much work. So, but it's okay.
And you're like, work, vacation. It's hard to make a decision, but
like you know, we love what we do. So it's good to have a shot of time off during the week. But it's really for me, it's hard to be in vacation, really, because after I cannot focus when I come back after vacation. So
yeah, no, I totally get it. And this is the beauty of like doing something that you love, you know, you're passionate. It is work, but it doesn't always feel like work, you know, because you love what you do. So that everyone, this is the best advice I'll say. Do what you love. This is always the best option.
For sure.
Oh goodness. All right, let's start. So Hinatea, we've known each other for a few years, and we met because I remember, like, I think it was 2017 or 18, I don't remember, but we met because we established a partnership through travel and tourism because for the ones who don't know, I actually own a travel agency. I organize a group travel to the South Pacific. And so all the group trips I organize, I organize a trip to like Tahiti, for example, to attend cultural events or to have cultural experience through immersion programs. And this is how I connect with Hinatea. I went and see her because I heard about her cultural center. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I wanted to bring people so they can experience what she offers at her cultural center. And this is how we met for the first time. And Hinatea came here in the United States. She attended an event that I organized called the Ori Tahiti educational event. It was such a great event because we traveled. We went on a tour in California, and Hinatea taught Tahitian culture. It was so good, and thank goodness I was able to be part of one of her class, and I'll never forget because it was so, like, I felt like all my elementary years at school learning about our own culture, it was like, you know, all recapped in one session, and I enjoyed it. So Hinatea, during the Ori Tahiti educational event, you talked to everybody about the project of developing a Tahitian Cultural Center. And at that time, you already started, but you were like developing. And so you've been busy since then because now you made this project a reality. And so I want you to share a little bit about the Reo Cultural Center. What are you teaching there? We want to know.
Yeah. So first of all, like you say, you know, I'm more a Tahitian dance teacher. But I used to love our history. I used to love our traditions, and more of that to share about them. And all the time I'm going somewhere, I like to visit and to understand the history of the people who live there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think like people who coming to Tahiti, they don't, you know, they are dancers, they are musicians, but when they come to Tahiti, they come for a certain reason and a certain event, like the Reo Ori Tahiti or the Hurata. But during the day, they have nothing, or they try to find something, or they try to, you know, to do something. They have blue excursion, like going in the water, you know, hiking, everything like this. But they cannot connect to culture. And the fact is, when they connect to culture during those periods, it's just during some entertainment. But at the time it's an entertainment, you are not a part of it, you know. You're just a public, you're just the public, you just look after. So I was like, oh my gosh, we are going to do a cultural center for our students, for our Nuna, for the new generation here. But I believe that around the world, many people love our culture, but they don't have the connection or also the contact. So I was like, okay, let's do something for passionate around the world who can come at the cultural center. And my gosh, it works. And it's so crazy because, you know, so for the dance school, we have like a schedule. And normally we start in August, then we finish in December, and then we come back on January, like schools, you know, elementary
school time.
And we have off in during the Heva, so during July. And with that project, it's been like 3 years that we have no more off time, because at the time people come from outside to visit us, it's during the vacation of the dance school and the cultural center for the children here. So during 3 years, we have this rushing time.
So you guys are working during school time and off school time because, you know, all the foreigners. Oh my goodness.
Exactly,
like no time off.
No time off. But like we say at the beginning, it's just about, you know, to share. But yeah, sometimes you just need to be back and just to do nothing and just don't talk to talk with nobody, just to go at the beach, and it's okay, you know. But and after we had so it really works. But we realized too that we were in a tourism, but we realized that we don't want people just who want to come to get a selfie, just to, you know, just a tourist like this, you know, who just want to have the culture, like it's more like an appropriation after. And I was like, no, we really want to do impact. We really want to impact for the students here, for the children here in our country, in our islands. But we want to impact people who are passionate about culture, and then they go back home and they talk about the real history, the real traditions. So that's why before the COVID start, we start to stop the experience with tourists, you know, and we decided just to open the experience for passionate and for lovers of Tahitian culture. So yeah, it's different. It's really different.
Yeah, totally. And oh my goodness, I know in such a short time, and that's why I want to say like congratulations, Hinatea, from the bottom of my heart, because in such a short time, you were able to revolutionize, you know, the I don't want to say the industry, but the area of the education of our
the way to
Tahitian
teach,
culture. Because I know it takes a lot of courage and bravery to do that, because as a Tahitian, I know that for so long when we pass knowledge, it's always like in person, and then you had your cultural center, that's what was one thing, and then you start to put this online, which was even like more accessible to everyone. And so it takes a lot of courage to do that, you know, like in the eyes of Tahitian people, because that's not something that we're used to. And I want to applaud you for this, because it takes a lot, you know, to get this out there. And I want to congratulate for all the work you have done. I hope people realize that, you know, because it takes a lot to achieve these kind of things. Oh my gosh. Now,
I want to say the same for you, Willow.
Yeah, we're on the same, we're on the same, we're all pioneers.
We're on the same va'a.
Yeah, like I said, on est des pionnières, de ce travail-là.
That's the harder part, I think. Yeah. That's the harder part, I think, because you don't know where you're going. What you just want to do is to help people, you know, is to help people, to connect them, but to connect in a real way, not like you know, you use the word industry, but not just like industrial things, you know, to be more human, because our culture, our language is more about those aspects. So it's kind of difficult because it takes a lot of emotion, a lot of time. So I really agree, and you too, congratulations.
No, it's been hard, but we're doing our best. I think the idea is to focus on helping as much people as we can. Even though sometimes we had no idea what we're doing. I'm very humble by saying that sometimes I have no idea. Especially building a business, you know, we're learning here. But and I'm sure you agree, when we see people being fulfilled with what we're giving, it makes our day. To me, I'm like, I'm that's all I need. Because it makes me so happy, you know, to see that. We understand each other. Okay, so I organized, I brought a couple of groups in the Reo Cultural Center in the past, and I had the privilege to be there myself with my family. It was such a memorable time for us. And the workshop that you offer for us, it was like more than a half day with Moe. It was so amazing, because with all the things that you offer to us, whether it was the tapa workshop, guys, if you go to Tahiti, this is a place that you have to go. It's a must, you know, to experience. And what I appreciate, of course, above all, because I'm a passionate of language, there was also the use of the Reo Tahiti during all your classes. During the tapa workshop, for example, you taught us a song, a pat o, and that's language too. You know, that's language. And so my question to you is, is the use of the Reo Tahiti very important at the Reo Cultural Center, and why?
Yeah, it's the foundation of the cultural center. And I want to say is more a foundation as a child of the Finua, because I think foreigners, they don't understand that, but it's been a long time that we have like a colonization, you know, we know that. And we know too that the consequences of this colonization is the loss of our culture and the loss of our language. So when we decided to create the cultural center, we want to impact on something. And this impact was on us first, because I speak Tahitian because I grew up with my grandfather and grandmother. But the fact is, at the time I came in high school, I realized I understand that I have an accent, like a French accent, but you know, like it's everybody telling me, oh, but you have a French accent. I'm like, you know what? it's from, I'm really baby. When I was a baby, I cannot change my accent. But the fact is, at this moment, I have like a complex to stop talking in Tahitian. But when I already create the dance school, but I was not so, I want to say, like a leader for that. You know, I was like, yeah, the language is good, but I will not put myself into it.
You didn't push too much. You didn't push too much.
Exactly. But at the time we create the cultural center, I realized that, okay, you want to create a big canoe, a big va'a for all the culture, and you are in the front and you are not talking Tahitian. Come on. And then I just switch. And I'm so lucky because I have my own teacher. She's more like an aunt now at the cultural center. And she pushed me so much. And also to work with different artists. You know, I didn't know that I can write a song before 2 years before. It's Mevina who asked me before a workshop, like, hey, can you write a song? And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I realized that, yes, I have it. And you know, we had an event this week, and it was like, you know, it's Heura, so it's full too of Reo Tahiti. And there were like many people, like academicians, people, you know, from the language. And I was so like a fish in a boko, you know, like to talk in Tahitian. And it was so fluent, so easy. So at the time I realized that I just have to push it, and it's going to be easier. And that's why the most time we can talk in Tahitian, I do. When we were in Hinatea in April, I was so happy because everybody talked with us in Tahitian. And even now here, I realize that I speak more Tahitian than some old people because they are not inside, you know. So
especially in Tahiti, though. Especially in
Tahiti. In islands, we don't have this problem.
No, because
they
my
still
family
speak in Tahitian.
My family's from Hinatea, and every time I go back there, it's a different world.
You start in Tahitian, and really, when you talk in Tahitian, you have you have the philosophy in Tahitian. Like the time is different, and also the like. Here now, if we switch in Tahitian, I know I will be more peaceful when I talk. Instead of talking in French or English, it goes so fast, you know, because it's different state of mind. And really, Tahitian, I love it. And I want to say that for you too, you have to be brave because, you know, you have to push a language like totally different outside of our country for people who don't speak at all, who don't even listen to Tahitian, maybe in Aparima, but sometimes they are lost in a song, but sometimes they are lost because they don't have the meaning of the Aparima. So really, I think, like you say, we are pioneer, and for sure, the Tahitian language for me is the bottom of my identity.
Yeah, it's super important, you know, and this is, you know, I'm not sure if you had time to see all the guests we had, you know, this past couple of days, and we all agreed that for so long we started with the dance, but it was backwards, you know, but and it's not, nobody's to blame for that, you know, because maybe it was meant to be like that. But now that we have the resources, we need to start like with the correct way by starting with the foundation first. But the language is not the only thing, because what you're bringing by the Tahitian culture, the concepts, Steve Shaw, you have brought that also in one of our lives. He said it was important to explain the content. That's the part that you're touching and sharing, and that's very, very important. And I love that. Oh my goodness. This is great. So I know in your online courses with the audio access, you teach a lot of history, and then the fundamentals of the Tahitian culture, and so there's a lot of questions that I have, and one particular is, has there been an evolution of in which the Reo Tahiti was used in the Ori Tahiti? Was there like that before, and how it is now, you know? Can you explain, because it has to do a little bit with history, but can you share a little bit, has there been an evolution with the Reo Tahiti and the Reo Tahiti in the Ori Tahiti. Goodness, a lot of Tahiti.
You know what? I was thinking about that maybe 2 days before, because I was listening an old album of music of Heva, and I was like, dang, the music before were so I want to say connect to the deep the deep of the culture, you know, the deep of the history, and each word has so much power, you know.
It's so
Nowadays
true.
yeah, and nowadays the aparima, they are nice, I want to say, but they were not so powerful, you know. We use a lot of how can I say that, yeah, the lexical words where nowadays I think they are just like, okay, to talk about just an aspect, but in a few years before, I feel that the Reo Tahiti were so deep, and the fact is because everybody understand it too
Back then.
at this, you know, back then. Instead of now, we have to use some words that are easier to understand for everybody. Right. So maybe it's about that. Then, like, you know, we have different words who were PE, so who was forbidden to use. So I think, yeah, when you see the time that the PE start, we can see that we have an evolution to in the Ori Tahiti, in the history at this moment. So yeah, I want to say yes.
So yes, there was an evolution, but now talking about now, today, you know, and I want to focus on the Ori Tahiti community outside of Tahiti, because I know you travel a lot in a lot of places. You came here in the United States. Hopefully you'll come again. I'll invite you. You better come.
I'm coming back.
I have to book you ahead of time.
Oh my gosh.
No, but you know, the Ori Tahiti community outside of Tahiti, so you know, before you travel a lot, and you've seen a lot, and you have met so many people, not only in person but even virtually, you know, especially the past 2 years. You saw all these people, and so my question is, like, what have you seen in the practice of the Reo Tahiti in Ori Tahiti studios or dance class, or what have you seen when you travel? Was the Reo Tahiti used, or was it poorly? Like, what have you seen? What was your experience?
Oh, outside of Tahiti.
Outside of Tahiti,
it's more than poor. It's more than poor, because even the meaning of the aparima, they don't get it, you know. But I have to say too, in Tahiti too.
Yes, I agree. We've seen
sad of that. I cannot talk about it because I signed a contract.
Yeah.
But I was in and I was in a TV, you know, the week before I was in a TV record, because we're gonna have a TV show about the Ori Tahiti, and also it was hard, you know. It was cute. I want to say it was cute too, but during an episode, they did a mistake of a name of a word, but the fact is because they don't speak Tahitian at all, and they were Tahitian, they were Polynesian, you know. So I was okay, they are young, but I mean, no, I don't want to see that anymore in 10 years. It's exactly, you know, what I want to say. Like, okay, we can laugh, but I mean, how can we build? How can we build against this poor time? And the fact is, for Tahitian, it's hard, but they used to do the movement, you know, they used to do that. But now it's been like maybe 2 or 3 years that I can see outside of Tahiti people who really try to change, and I want to say it's about the new generation of teachers. They grew up with mentors, and also the mentors, they start to do already this work, you know.
Right.
But when they start to have their own school, they are in this position to learn more and to be a better teacher, I want to say, to their students. Not a better teacher than their
teacher, their mentor.
Yeah, but to be a good teacher, you know. And they realize that they have to catch everything from the culture, not about only the steps. The steps are good, but I mean, if you really, it means nothing if you just dance and there is no meaning. At this moment, just do a Zumba class or a classic class, but don't come in Ori Tahiti. That's really it's not an advice, it's an order, you know. Like
the must. There's no option.
I mean, like, come on, guys. We suffer about the colonization. We suffer about our own appropriation of our culture, of our history. So if you start to come and to do a Zumba class on the Ori Tahiti Aparima, come on, thank you, stop it. So I did that. Then we can keep going. But like I said, we can start to have a new generation who wants to build like us. I mean, that's why we are inside too. And I'm happy, but I hope it will go faster. And really, what you do too is really important, because most of the time, what is interesting is your students, they are most of the time students of any access to, and they telling me that, we saw that with Mueno's teacher, and it combined, you know. And I think
it's connected. It's connected.
It's connected. And at the time, everybody understand that you cannot split the steps, the movement, the choreography to the Reo Tahiti and to the concept of different aspects of the culture. You get it. You can say that, you know, I want to say that it's been a long time too. I'm going outside and I see a lot of people who telling me, I love Tahitian culture. I love this. I love that. But they'll just focus on doing Farapo on the right and the left.
I get it. I'm seeing still that, and it's still happening. But that's our job, I guess.
But not only us, because we do that, we give it. But to people to educate themselves, if you want to go far, go.
I love that. I love that you brought and mentioned that, you know, the new teachers, you know. First of all, for Tahiti, it's funny because I did interview a lot of teachers in Tahiti of Ori Tahiti. And it's funny because when they were young, they actually learned the Ori Tahiti in Reo Tahiti. And there was a gap. It feels like the older generation are fine, but there was a gap where they didn't, the generation that came after, they missed the language. That's why now everybody's lost. They don't know. They just use French, right? So again, hopefully in the future in Tahiti, things will get better. But I can say that a lot of older generation, they were actually truly teaching the Ori Tahiti in the Reo Tahiti. But it was just that gap that kind of hurt the new generation. But I think the new generation is smart, and they're able, and I think there's a possibility that things will get better in the future, and we'll get the language back, as by understanding is the foundation. But you know what, I like that you said that the new teacher, because even outside of Tahiti, I've seen in a lot of communities, like the new teachers who are really going for it. They're doing courses with you, they're doing courses with me, they're like traveling to Tahiti. Of course, not this past 3 years, but you know what I mean? Like they're doing an effort to really, really put themselves into it. And I applaud them for this.
And I can say it's only new teacher from, because they're coming from bigger group. Because this teacher in the past was connected to Tahiti and has the connection, you know, and not but if it's just a dancer who just start dancing like 3 years before and they want to open their school, they are totally lost.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like there's a new wave, you know, a new wave or new. But I want to say though, you guys are the new wave. I'm talking to the new wave of teachers, of group leaders. You guys are spoiled because now there are resources available now. So you have to grasp it, you know. You gotta make the effort. There's no more excuses anymore. So you have to take action because it's there. Because I understand for the older generation, it was probably hard. They had to travel to Tahiti every time, or they had to had a reference, and that reference is not always available. So it's hard.
And that,
you know?
and the fact is, to what we have to say to that the old generation here in Tahiti, they are. I want to say that they know the culture, but they don't really make the difference between the Judeo-Christian. We know you're going to translate. Ils n'arrivent pas à faire la différence entre tout ce qui a été fait par la colonisation chrétienne et au fait et la culture ancienne. Et du coup, quelquefois, ben, c'est un peu le bordel. Hein.
Oh, okay, so there's a confusion between the Christianity and then the ancient culture, you know, all the practices they had back in the day. So yeah, of course, there's the confusion on both sides. Yeah, I get it.
And that's why for us at the Cultural Center and also online, for us, it's really important to don't make this confusion. That's why too we work with a lot of scientists, like, you know, archaeologists, ethnologists, to be sure that the content we will give is that, and not because my grandmother say that. You know?
Yes.
Really.
I know, you know what, it's so true, because I'm not gonna lie, even growing up in my childhood, I learned so many things, like we say in French, les on-dit et les on-dit et tout ça. So it was hard. And then growing up, like when I really dive into learning, and I was like, wait a minute, it wasn't that, you know, oh, we're frozen again. Okay, wait a minute, it wasn't that, it's wrong, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's true. It's important to have an accuracy, you know, of everything we're delivering. But I'm not sure if you agree with that, Hinatea, but I think though, like for the Reo Tahiti, for my part, I always tell my students that it's good you have the online access to all that knowledge, but I always push them to go back to Tahiti though, because yeah, because, you know, it's one thing. I feel like, you know, with the Reo Tahiti, I'm only teaching the beginning level because I want them to have the basics, but it's a journey, you know, it's a journey with the language. And I'm sure with the culture it's the same thing. And I think it's good also to go back and have that connection.
You
it's
know,
so important.
It's amazing what you're saying, because I was thinking what you're doing, it's exactly what they start to do maybe 30 years before with La Fapelec here.
Yes,
but like
you
go to New Zealand to learn English, you know, and you are going with your agency, travel agency, to start to grow here, to travel in Tahitian, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I do, because I truly believe that learning by immersion is the gold. This is the best. Right? But we understand not everybody can do that. Not everybody, you know, can go whenever they want. We understand. That's why
we're
giving
try.
something.
Let's try.
Yeah, we're giving something. But you gotta go. You gotta go to Tahiti. You gotta go with the people. And so many people who have experienced that, they told me, even some of my students, they told me, that one trip I did, it changed my life. I see things so differently now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
let's work on it, making a tour all in Tahitian.
Yeah, and that's the dream.
And they come here to learn about the culture, and we talk in Tahitian.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the dream, and everybody can do that. Everybody's welcome to do that. But anyways, I'm working on it. I really want to make it happen.
Okay, we have to stop to talk about project. Just focus now.
It's true, huh? But you know what? I'm sorry, but action takers, so I'm sure it's possible. We're not just saying just blah blah blah.
And remember,
it will happen.
Bueno,
it will happen.
You remember that Mo and I, we want to build a lodge in our valley, so it can be the place.
There you go, Hinatea. We stay in touch. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Let us some 2 years or 3 years to build it.
No, we gotta make it happen. Sometimes it takes time, but we have to make it happen.
Yeah. You know what? It's exactly what happens for the cultural center. It's been a long time that we want to make it, but we cannot. But at the time we have the window to do it. We did it, and we're here.
My gosh, I can't believe we came a long way for such a short time, but I'm very happy for that. And anyways, again, the idea is to make sure that people are really truly feel the experience, of that connection with our culture that we love. I love my culture so much that I'm dedicating so much of my life into it and bringing my family along with me. So that's just the best. Hold on, Steve says something. He said, if you build it, they will come. Yes, it's true. All right.
And we're going to have a bar.
Hey, what about
happy hour? You know what? After a drink, I know everybody start to speak Tahitian.
Hey, matraro aya.
Matarareo. Me matararo. Me
Anyways, okay, all right. So I have two more last questions, and one of them is what is your advice? Again, I'm still more focusing on the Ori Tahiti community outside of Tahiti, because this is the people that we're reaching out right now. And so what will be your advice that you can share to help them during on their journey in learning the Reo Tahiti through Ori Tahiti? What will be your advice to the Ori Tahiti community? There's so much.
Subscribe to POLY-lingual.
Subscribe to Reo Access.
Subscribe to Reo Access. To ask people like you, like us, to what does it mean, But it's not only about meanings. Like, you do the lyrics translation too. It's not only about the translation,
Oh, it's not only that.
So more.
Yeah.
So if you need all the tools, you have to be grounded in the Reo and in the cultural concept. So I think, the best advice, but because we have the best products, is to subscribe to our stuff. And to come to Tahiti, but when you come to Tahiti, you have to stay with family who talk Tahitian, with family who are rooted to the traditions. So then you can grow inside, and you can understand everything. So this is my advice.
I love it. This is what a lot of people have said also, Hinatea. You're not the only one, and I agree 100%. Is use the resources that you have. It's available to you. But then if you had the opportunity to experience Tahiti more than anything, Tiana, for example, was saying that it's one thing to go to Tahiti and attend all the Ori Tahiti events. You're on a mission. There's a lot going on. But it's also good to take the time to connect with the people outside of that world, because there's so much you can learn from there. And yes, like you say, Tahitian family who speaks Tahitian, that's even the best.
And I think you will learn more about the culture, not if you just staying with Tahitian dancers.
Right.
If you go with family, like fishermen, like people who or agriculture, really you can get more from them.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's totally that. Oh my gosh, this is so good, Hinatea. Goodness, there's so much to talk about. I'm so glad we had this time. I want to see all the comments, because people are commenting a lot, and I want to make sure that we're not missing any questions. Every time we had the live, sometimes I forget that people are asking questions, and now I'm really gonna take the time for it. Okay, hold on really quick. Well, I guess people are just agreeing with everything we've been saying so far. Oh, that's good. So we have people from everywhere, from New Zealand, from
Rio
Australia.
de Janeiro.
Yeah, I recognize some of them. I see someone
How
from
about
Norway.
student exchange program? Yeah, Pomaikai. We were just talking about it to build that.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's an awesome plan. Yes, I love
Leandra,
that.
Yorana.
Yes, from France.
Oui, avec
Mariva Bouchou is
Mariva.
here.
Singapour avec Selena.
Nouvelle-Calédonie. Oh, I love it. Okay, so my last question is, what will be your last message, you know, for everyone in every area? What will be if I have to tell you, Hinatea, tell me in one phrase, what will you say? What will be your message to the entire Ori Tahiti community? It's funny because if somebody asks me that question, I don't know where to start because there's so much I would want to say.
About what? What can I say about what?
About you in your position, about you in your position as a Tahitian culture expert who has the mission to share, you know, to the world anything about the Tahitian culture.
Tu peux traduire, de ne pas le prendre juste pour acquis au fait ce qu'on partage aussi dans le sens où...
Attends, va phrase par phrase. Parce que...
Ouais.
Ok, vas-y.
Au fait, c'est déjà compliqué pour nous de retrouver, donc de faire les recherches, de faire en sorte que ça soit accessible parce qu'il y a un travail justement de mise en avant du contenu.
Ça, j'imagine.
Et de pas juste se dire ouais, non, mais c'est bon, quoi. C'est bon, je paye un service, tu donnes, quoi. Faut arrêter.
Voilà, c'est pas de prendre à la légère, c'est ce que tu veux dire?
Ouais.
Okay.
Ouais. Donc, déjà sur... ouais, vas-y.
Okay, so basically what Hinatea is saying is that, you know, she wants, you know, everybody to understand that all the work, the research, the time they took, you know, to gather, collect all that content that they were, you know, sharing right now and put it online. It takes such, like, it's very hard to do that. And I understand what she's saying because there's no model to not copy, but to inspire yourself with. Everything is like created from scratch. So it takes time for that. And her message is to say that don't think that we're just like having a service online. The idea here is for you guys to understand that we really put the work into this, you know, and don't take this for granted because it took
for granted.
A lot for that.
And don't take the fact that just because you know the steps, just because you know how to do a choreography, that you got everything from the culture, you know everything from the Polynesian culture. This is totally un mensonge, c'est une utopie. Parce que even me, I'm 36 years old now, and I started dancing, I was 3 years old, and I still learning. So just be respectful for that too. I want to say that.
Yeah, so you said in English, Hinatea, so everybody, you got you didn't even realize you were saying in English. No, I'll say in French. No, but à tous, hein, écoutez bien, ne pensez pas qu'en connaissant les pas de base, par exemple, du Ori Tahiti, ou les mouvements, ou les termes, c'est suffisant. Ça c'est un mensonge au fait, parce que ça, c'est juste vraiment une petite partie de l'ensemble des connaissances que normalement, on devrait le connaître, on devrait apprendre.
Et ce que je souhaiterais, what I wish to, is that we can have more humility about it. And also when you learn something new, when you learn a history who was totally forbidden, a history who has a lot of colonization period, that we need humility and respect to get it.
Okay, so, and then she's saying that it requires a lot of humility as well and respect, because actually our people went through a lot because of the colonization.
MP?
I was going to translate that.
Sorry.
we actually, our people went through a lot, you know, in the past because of the colonization and so many things. So it's important to keep a humble heart and have respect.
Just that.
There you go, everyone. That was the word from Hinatea. And so everyone, I want to invite you one more time to you know, think about it. You know, if you're gonna be like if you decide to dive into the Tahitian culture, the Ori Tahiti and everything else, the Reo Tahiti, of course, it takes a lot. It takes for you to take action, to be humble, to be respectful, and there's so much more, right? And the resources are here now, everyone. If you want to learn about Tahitian culture, Hinatea is here. She has her online audio access. You know how to get a hold of her. And Hinatea, share with me, is there anything we can do to help you and support you besides going on audio access?
I put the website online.
There you go.
I just want to explain exactly because also, you know, the audio access, you know, the cultural center, when we open it, we want to support our community to get the best link to connect to the history, to the culture. And we decided to do the same online. So every subscribers to Reo Access, 10% of this subscription help some nonprofits here. So we're gonna launch soon a video of what we did in April in Raiatea to prepare, because you remember, we were talking one time you came at the cultural center and you told me everything has to be done in Raiatea for the tourism because there is nothing.
Yes.
And that's why when we went in February in Raiatea and we saw this nonprofit and we saw that many people there, Polynesian, Tahitian, Raiatea, I want to say people from Raiatea, they have no work, but they can live in a cultural experience tourism, you know? Yeah. So that's why we decided to support. So the subscribers of Reo Access offer the possibility to those Polynesian who cannot get access to their culture to have a week of formation, a week of training, and now they have the chance to live. So you can have now an experience of making tapa in Raiatea, because we teach them how to do that. So it's more than just taking something to learn, is you take it and you share it too, you know?
Yes.
So that's why at Reo Access we create that. And also, I want to say thank you to the subscribers who are here already. And for the one who is hesitating, so just don't hesitate too much, because in 5 years, all the subscribers will know more than you. So you need to come soon in a canoe and to learn more. So I just want to say that.
I love it. You know what? Maybe that's a plan, because again, I'm thinking more and more, because Raiatea is on my next stop for my next trip. So so many people have asked, like, can we go? And I say, hey, let's all go to Raiatea, because there's so
and I have
much
the good contacts there. I will give you the contacts.
Yeah. I know a lot of people there because my family's from there.
Yeah,
I followed you. I followed you, Hinatea, when you were in Raiatea. I saw, you know, and I recognize a lot of people because I knew them since I was a kid. But then it's so I'm so you know, happy, you know, to see that things are also happening.
We were so happy too.
Yeah,
we were so happy.
Yeah, that's good. So, oh my gosh. All right, everyone, you heard Hinatea, support and support her, but support her, but also it's for you, you know, it's for you. It's for your own self. There's so much content, and you know what? I'm guilty of it. I haven't signed up to your courses, but I have to. I need to learn from you. So I'm not gonna blah blah only. Yeah, I'm gonna take action. Honestly, you know how busy we are. It's very hard. And plus, I took some Maori and Samoan classes, language. So, of course, it was very hard for me to invest in other courses. But it's on top of my list. Audio Access is on top of my list. So everyone, I encourage you to join. And thank you so much again, Hinatea, for all the work you do. And thanks to Moe as well, your partner in crime.
Yeah, we have to thank our partner and Steve too, because they're all the time with us, supporting us.
It's so important. We need them. And my kids too, and your dog. Maybe your dog is helping you.
This is Saka here. He joined.
All right, maruru mate. I still see a lot of comments. Someone has said from Haireme Orua Inuterani.
Maresa Yorana.
Harime Maua Inuterani. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Penei enen he taua e tawiri ho e hoho o Naruto te Tahiti miau e.
Me teirua, whatever taua. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Nana,
love all of you guys. Maru.
Nana, bisu.
Nana.
Hey, Saka.